Welcome to my watch through of the Dark Knight trilogy, which we are going to be finding out whether or not it is as good as we remember it. So without further ado, let's do it. Okay, that is one of the coolest opening shots I have ever seen. Now I actually have always said that this is my favourite of the trilogy, Batman Begins. I always said it was better than The Dark Knight. And I also thought Dark Knight Rises was barely the weakest. So I don't know what I was thinking, but I guess we're going to have to find out, because my memories of The Dark Knight, I like remembering my liking. I feel like I like it more than Batman Begins, but I always remember saying Batman Begins is better, so I'm going to have to find out why I think that and if I still think that. So yeah. Yes, the scariest thing, bats. I actually remember I used to have a trampoline in my backyard and I would just go on it all the time, but I would hate going outside at night on it because there were bats and I thought they were like really aggressive and they were like gonna bite me. I don't think that was gonna have happened. I love the food that just looks like why don't you just specify that at first though? You know, just say like, we need to protect them because you're hurting them. You don't need to be vague about it. Yes, that's definitely how you pronounce that. Ra's al Ghul. It's definitely not Raj al Ghul. That's not how you pronounce it. That was a weird edit. Why did it cut like that? I'm not even like an editor, and I thought that was weird. I love how all of the buildings in this area are just like 50 stories tall, because that's how every building is. There's no such thing as small buildings. Every building is like really big. You know, I don't think it's that weird that the child wants to leave, you know, because like he's a kid and it's like an opera. I feel like it'd be worse for the dad if he was to say it. Yes, how you can be standing and walking around solidly just on ice, but then one tap of the sword makes it break, because that's how it works. I love how Michael Caine plays Alfred when Bruce is a kid and an adult, where there is 20 odd years in between and he literally hasn't aged a day. He must have the one ring or something.
Believe it. You haven't aged a day.
I love how Bruce Wayne is just fully able to bring a gun into a courtroom and I guess have no like thoughts about how this isn't a good thing to do. That sound effect sounded so muffled for some reason. It was like the sound effect was made in Microsoft Paint. I love how all of their suits are just like the characters from John Wick Chapter 4, those like bulletproof suits there. This movie ripped off John Wick hard, I swear. Hey, there's like 50 of you guys, and there's one of him. You should like fight him, and then you win. Because, don't just run. Oh, yeah, that moment when you're a rich billionaire and you just suddenly discover a massive cave underneath your mansion, which is perfectly suited for what you need in this extremely specific scenario.
I'm sure you realize I can't stop being a machine.
Guys, it's like Patrick Bateman. He looks like Patrick Bateman. Guys, did you know that this is the same guy who's Patrick Bateman in the hit movie American Psycho, whatever it's called? Guys, it's the same actor. And he looks like him. What a surprise. I like how he's basically just the girl from X2, where that fights Wolverine in that one scene.
Holy shit.
Black bats, lost one. That's frightened me. This time my enemy shared my dread.
Guys, he chose bats because he's got to be the Batman. They call him Batman because he's a man who's a bat. They don't call him Superman because he's not super. I love getting a seizure from action scene. Camera try not to cut, challenge impossible. I've mostly made jokes throughout this video, but that is unironically one of the best superhero entrances like I've ever seen. This probably is the best superhero origin movie that I can think of. Christian Bale was a pretty good Batman. Ben Nadir is the best Batman though.
That's right, you better run.
Yeah, you better run. Come out wherever you are. You're gonna be in a mud with this one. It's gonna hurt tomorrow. Dialogue. God, it's a reference to the bat signal from the Batman. Guys, it's like the Batman. It's like the guide. I love one of my favorite details about this movie is how like they make Bruce Wayne actually just like the worst person ever so that no one suspects that he's Batman. It's such a good detail about these movies. And it's really funny as well. He just instantly breathes gas and then just It's what I mean. I love his voice that's just like Guys, it's Joffrey from the Game of Thrones show. They're connected in the same universe because it's the same actor. They've got to be in the same universe. The Batman universe is connected to the Game of Thrones universe. I swear, guys. You gotta believe it. When I was a kid, about 4, the first Batman movie I watched was Batman Forever. And there's a part where he runs like through fire. And I asked my dad, is Batman like not able to die? because he ran through fire. My dad's like, yep. So for about a long time, I thought Batman was like unkillable. And I watched this movie, and I was like, yeah, that's not how that works. Guys, it's the scene from literally every superhero movie where the villain, right before the third act, captures the love interest, and now the superhero's got to save her. Literally the most original movie ever, guys.
He's here. Who? The Batman.
Why does he say it like that? The Batman. Just say Batman, guy, dude. Okay, now why is that actually like the coolest looking thing I've ever seen? They did not need to go that hard on the Batman. It's creepy. It's like the part from the poster. It's like the part from the poster. They put that part on the poster, guys. It's like that part from the. That's awesome.
Am I pronouncing this right? Mr. Raz Al Ghul?
No, you are not pronouncing it right. It is Raj Al Ghul. You idiot. Why does that one shot just look like a PlayStation video game? You know how fire burns you? It's not just like, oh, this is a bit hot, oh, I might it'll cool down. No, it, like, dyes you. That would just kill you. Guys, that's foreshadowing to the game Batman Arkham Asylum. It's a foreshadowing. They made a reference to it.
Oh well, you took my advice about the theatricality?
Guys, COVID is over. You don't need to wear your masks anymore. God. I swear, I haven't seen this movie in a while, so I can't remember everything. But I swear, if Gordon says, I gotta get me one of these, I'm gonna die. It's literally just the scene from Into the Spider-Verse, but not Spider-Verse. This movie ripped off Spider-Verse hard.
I won't kill you, but I don't have to see you.
Yeah, you kind of do. It's not like it's your main goal to save people. It's a reference to the movie called The Dark Knight. They reference it in the second movie. That was a lot better than I thought it was going to be. Maybe the Dark Knight trilogy is better than we remember. But we still have 2 more to go. This one was really good. I always do remember thinking this one was better than the Dark Knight. But we'll have to see. I've got to watch The Dark Knight next. I give that one a 9 out of 10. So let's see what The Dark Knight's going to be. So today, now we are watching The Dark Knight. What is usually seen as the superior successor to Batman Begins. Usually, for ages, I've always just said I prefer Batman Begins. But maybe this will be the day that everything changes and I finally see Dark Knight as the masterpiece that everyone says it is. So let's get into it. I like the reoccurring opening shot. I think there's also one in The Dark Knight Rises as well. And fun fact about this movie, it came out the same week I was born. So yeah. Even as someone who would always say, you know, Batman Begins is better, this is definitely one of the best opening scenes of all time. Instantly gripping. and engaging, and it perfectly sets the tone for the rest of the movie. You know what movie doesn't do that? The direct follow-up to this. It's been a while since I've seen The Dark Knight Rises, so I don't think that one's going to hold up as well as I remember. But this one's probably... I'm probably going to like this one more now. I completely forgot that the Scarecrow was in the other two movies. I thought he, like, died or something in the end of the other one. When he was falling, the car was going sideways and he was facing forward as the car was sideways, but he lands fronting the face of the car. Why does he look like Sylvester Stallone's, like, weird, forgotten cousin? Okay, so now this is the second time in this trilogy that someone has brought a gun into a courtroom. Can, like, anything be safe? You know, the IMAX shots in this movie, they look great, but it is very distracting just seeing the aspect ratio change exclusively for an establishing shot and just immediately going back to the regular aspect ratio. Maybe it would be better if they changed it only for, like, action scenes and not just random establishing shots.
You either die a hero or you live long enough to see yourself become the villain.
He said the thing. It's like the foreshadowing. He's like, he does that. He does.
My office. You're sitting down there with scum like Wirtz and Ramirez, and you're talking.
Why is Batman just like third wheeling, like Gordon and Harvey Dent just like having this full-on conversation, and Batman's just sitting there like. He's totally necessary towards the scene. I watched this movie 4 whole times, yet I do not recognize that scene in the slightest. It's just been completely wiped from my memory for whatever reason.
He turns to me and he said, "Why so serious?"
He said the line, he said the line, he said the line, he said the line. He said.
I must apologize for
It's, I already said this, but it is just so distracting seeing the aspect ratio change. Just keep the whole movie in the wide ratio. It just looks so much better.
how crazy Batman's made Gotham. You want order Batman must take out.
Hey guys, welcome to my vlog. It's my new vlog on my YouTube channel. What's up, chat? Thanks for the 100 bits. I wonder who blew up the car. I wonder who blowed up. I don't know. I wonder who blowed it up. I think it might have been the joke.
You look nervous.
Heath Ledger, hands down, the best performance in a comic book superhero movie of all time. Probably one of the top 5 best, maybe not top 5, maybe top 10 best movie performances of all time. Changed my mind. There's probably like some I'm forgetting about, but yeah, he's probably one of the best. You know that like bit from the Tom Holland Spider-Man movies where he like is always where Peter Parker is, and then like MJ realizes that she's like, yeah, you're Spider-Man. Do people just not realize this with Batman during this scene? Bruce Wayne disappears, and then Batman appears 5 minutes later. For some reason, he's in the Wayne house. Why is everything just like blue? I love it when the sun is just blue.
I don't know where he is. He found us.
He must have friends.
His voice is so unthreatening.
I want to tell you
just be less gravelly. It could just be a bit deeper. You don't need to make it so gravelly and intense all the time. It's a lot like the scene from Iron Man when he says, I'm the man of the Iron. I'm the Iron Man. It's like that. That's a lot like that.
You ain't like everybody else, pal.
Just aggressively gets died. Just casually owns bazookas because, yep. You know how that would just kill anyone? That is the coolest car-related thing in a movie. Just car broken, bat bike. Did you guys know that they actually flipped the truck in that scene? Like, they flipped the real truck in that part. It was a real truck that they flipped in the scene, and it was a real truck that they me when I'm playing poker. This is one of my favourite scenes in the movie. It's really the first time we really see the Batman and the Joker like properly together and bouncing off each other. And it's really, really good. And it's what, like, these two together are just what helps solidify this as one of the best superhero movies of all time. That's a lot like the scene in the Lego Batman movie when the Lego Batman, he's watching Jerry Maguire and Tom Cruise goes, "You complete me," and he starts laughing hysterically. So this is a subtle reference to the fact that he's gonna have a half of his face. He's gonna have half his face burned off, and the rest of his face is gonna be fine. He's gonna be like the character Two-Face.
Plans to be caught. He wanted me to lock him up in the MCU.
Oh no, not the Marvel Cinematic Universe, guys. This is a DC movie. They can't talk about Marvel. It's the shot from the shot from the DVD cover. They put that on the disc.
No, you're not.
When I first watched this movie, I was like
Not yet.
10. That was like the goriest thing I'd ever seen at the time. And I thought it was the coolest looking thing because it was like a brief glimpse into what like a horror movie would be like to me.
Where's the Italian?
Me when Mario
You're running my half. This town I deserve.
I kind of wish someone would do that to Disney.
Tell your men they work for me.
I don't like Disney very much. Why did he not know that it was the Joker until after he took off the mask? The giant makeup didn't. Did you know there was a abandoned candy shop that they blew up? They didn't actually blow up, I suppose. It's actually just a candy shop that they got rid of. Did you also know that there was the explosives the explosives were supposed to go off, but they stopped going off, and that's why there was a real reaction from Heath Ledger. This is completely unknown facts. Nobody knows these facts. Trust me, guys.
Another SWAT team on the roof.
How do his eyes not just hurt from looking at that? The sound design of that gun is the most satisfying thing I've ever heard. That's the trailer shot, baby. That one's for the trailer. You and I aren't so different. It's a lot like the phrase he said earlier in the movie when he's like, you either die or you become the hero and the villain. I killed those people on the subway. How about another Joe Carvey? Yeah, that one definitely got a lot better rewatch. I'd probably give that one a 10 out of 10 this time. It's definitely better than Batman Begins. The score, one of the best of all time. Definitely Hans Zimmer's best. Heath Ledger's performance is just the cherry on top of one of the best superhero movies ever made. So let's move on to what's obviously the best of the trilogy, The Dark Knight Rises. That one's definitely gonna hold up as well on rewatch. This is sarcasm if you couldn't tell. Okay, so we've finally made it. The Dark Knight Rises. The main reason I technically made this video, because as renowned as the first two are, this one's definitely not as renowned as it used to be. It's definitely the best of the trilogy. Everyone definitely says that. Can't wait for it to see it as an absolute masterpiece. So let's just get right into the final movie of the trilogy. We've been on a hot streak so far. Will the Dark Knight trilogy conclude nicely? We'll have to see. I said this for the other two. Amazing, consistent opening shot. That one's probably my least favourite. I've seen this movie twice. Batman Begins I'd seen 3 times, Dark Knight I'd seen 4 times, this one I've only seen twice. And yeah, I know why I haven't seen it as much. It's easily the weakest of the 3. Even I, someone who liked it, thought it was the weakest. I mean, it's not entirely bad, but we'll just have to see.
Well, perhaps he's wondering why someone would shoot a man.
Why is his voice so much louder than the other bits in the movie? Like, Christian Bale's voice is dumb, but at least it's not at 300 decibels.
If I pull that off, will you die? It would be extremely painful. You're a big guy. For you.
Dialogue. It's hard to write. This is the same. This is a sequel to The Dark Knight. Just think how gripping and intense. He's so loud. The first scene in The Dark Knight is so gripping and intense, and this one is just so dumb. It's so much worse. I can't wait to just endlessly riff on this movie. Okay, this opening scene's pretty dumb, but that part's pretty cool. I will say that it's not an entirely bad movie. It's just easily the weakest of the 3.
The fire rises.
Thanks for the taiko drums blaring with the already loud Bane voice. You've given me a headache 5 minutes into your 2.5 hour movie. He looks like if Sheldon Cooper was an Agent Smith, in the worst way possible. So much of this movie is just like really quiet, so I have to turn my volume up all the way. And for the scenes, in other scenes, it's really, really loud, and it's not how you audio.
I was asking you.
Why is his voice still so loud?
And you brought him.
Turn down the volume. Boy, oh my god. It's Boyle from the hit show Brooklyn 7-7. I love that show.
The city needs Bruce Wayne.
Why is Alfred suddenly now against Batman? He was perfectly fine with it the other two movies, but now he's against it for whatever particular reason.
Change is either good or bad. Oh, bad. On what basis?
Is that Glenn Powell from the hit movie Spy Kids 3D Game Over? It's so loud now. It's so loud. It goes really quiet and it goes really loud. From scene to scene, it's really annoying having to turn it up and then immediately have to turn it back down for 2.5 hours. Just consistently have a volume. Yeah, this entry scene with that gun, I know Batman doesn't use guns, but whatever. And, you know, with the incredible Hans Zimmer score, is really good, and it is a good part in this movie. And that's another thing, Hans Zimmer's score is really good. It's probably not as good as The Dark Knight, but it is really good.
Clean slate. Where you type in someone's name, date of birth. In a few minutes, they're gone.
Exposition. You gotta have it. You gotta. No one's ever heard of subtlety. Why did he talk in the Batman voice to himself? He's like, what does that feel like? No one's around. No one's hearing you. You don't need to use. You can just talk normally. Why do we need an IMAX shot of him in his bed? I can understand establishing shots, but why do we just need an IMAX shot of him waking up in his bed and going downstairs? Just like that. It's just. I am running it directly into the ground.
I am running it directly into the ground.
Like, how strong is Bane? He's just a guy. He doesn't really have all that much protection. Like, Joker was like also just a guy, but he never fight to Batman like this.
I am the League of Shadows.
I am the Mandarin! That's what this reminds me of.
Oh, you think darkness is your ally? You merely adopted the dark. I was born in it, molded by it.
That would be a cool line if it wasn't distracted by the fact that his voice is at 100 decibels. Why does Bane just own one of the bombs from Gunship Cavalry? I think it might be at the football field, guys. I don't know. It's probably too far of a guess, but I think it might be at the football field. Isn't it usually like Mariah Carey or something singing at one of these football events? Why they just got this little kid? Usually it's like someone well known and not just some kid. That's one of the coolest parts in the whole trilogy. Hands down. You know how you can just put bombs up all over a very secured city? You know how people can just do that. Oh mate, last week Sydney just got bloody bombed, mate. Or the harbour bridge got wrecked. You know that just happens every other weekend.
Take control of your city.
What's that supposed to mean? He's just like, Gotham, just take control of your city. Yep, that's probably what they're trying to do if they aren't doing it already. He just blew up an entire football field, killing an entire football team, and no one was reacting to that. He kills one random guy, and suddenly everyone's like, "Ah!" It's just like the cover for the album artwork on. Oh my gosh, I can't believe it. They referenced the album cover for the Dark Knight Rises soundtrack. Get it? Because he said Rise, and the movie's called The Dark Knight Rises. This is such a clever movie. Oh my god. Man, the score for these movies is so good. Hans Zimmer popped off. He pops off even when the movie isn't that good. Why does he need the guy that does the sound effect for movies? Why would Gordon need that to defeat Bane? That was like the smallest bite I'd ever seen anyone take of anything. Editing, it's hard. You know, you can just perfectly set up like stuff on a wall. 1, 2, 5. 3, sir. 3.
1, 2, 5. 3, sir. 3.
You know what us cops with just guns or whatever are gonna do against like a Bane? Someone who was more powerful than Batman up to this point? Yeah, let's just all run at them, because that's gonna work.
So you came back to die with your city.
I came back to stop you.
No, I came out to stop you. Like, it's the "may thy knife chip and shatter" type of dialogue. Except that actually worked within the story. This is just like a whiny comeback that doesn't work. This is the most like underwhelming fight in ever. This is supposed to be the conclusion to this monumental trilogy, and they're just like,
Tell me where the traitor is. Then you have my permission to die.
coldest lines in all of fiction. And too bad it's in the worst one in the trilogy, not all of fiction. The Dark Knight Rises has a Disney twist villain, and this came out the same year as like some of them, I think Wreck-It Ralph or something. This predicted the Disney twists.
Shoot them all.
No, they killed the Joker. It's literally the Joker from Full Metal Jacket, but still. Best death scene in the movie's history. This is one of the best death scenes. It is one of the death scenes of all time. Yeah, wow, Gotham is saved. No radiation would affect them. The bomb is definitely 100% away. The guy that directed a movie about the guy who made the atomic bomb somehow didn't know that. That was The Dark Knight Rises, which was best of the trilogy. No, it wasn't. It was the weakest by a landslide. It pales in comparison to the other two. But the trilogy as a whole, probably like an 8 out of 10. It holds up pretty well, 2/3 of it at least. And I'd say this video was overall a success. So see you next week when I will be doing something.